Okay, I think we're ready to begin, guys. You're ready? Are you ready?
Oh, it's ready, precious.
Yes,
Okay.
awesome. Welcome, everybody, to Tales which can only be told within the Ring of Fire. That's right, welcome to this 7th episode of Burning Dusk. 7 episodes, we've been here. My books came in today. Yes, the Codex came. Good times. Now we shall shortly begin. If there is anything else I think we need to do, I think we're already set to go. I think we just need to... Is Vsal here? Vsal's not here. That's okay. I think we just start with the recap.
Yeah.
You're here? Okay, no worries.
My food is off to the side, so I just lean over to eat it.
That's
You
all right.
don't see me.
That's right. No worries.
Classic
Oh.
Vsal.
Alright, thank you for joining us out there. We're going to jump straight into the recap for the episode. Last time on Burning Dusk, we opened upon the windy wastes of Trulak. Our catalysts were traveling by the stream towards the great lake in the distance, for they, our favorite random monster encounter, were searching for something or someone. But that something or someone had not been yet revealed in our saga just yet, for that scene by the lake took place on the present day. Day 38 of the cycle 4923, the Day of Dreams. But then, we cut back from the present day, a flashback, a trip to the past, close to 3 chains in the past, about 4 weeks our time. We came back to the events after Raylan's absolution, and the slaying of that blue-starved monster by the stream. It was on that day, Day 19, the Day of Blue Fire, on that same cycle, we began. The head of the creature upon a table in the church was St. Plov. Our catalyst came to know that the thing they brought back was a strain of vampire, a vile, contaminated abomination of great potency. As our heroes, responsible for the slaying of such a terrible creature, regaled of the tales of its demise at their glorious assaults, Raylan stood by, clutching that sword of his, a cloud of determination upon him. Those catalysts who were badly injured in the battle were tended to, but their wounds were deep. Cerson, still in possession of the heart of that vampire, felt his juices begin to seep into its pores, but through the mysterious help of the Elysian Trackton, he managed to remove the festering feeling. It was then these immediate threats and issues resolved, our catalysts were taken back below to complete their training finally, with the help and aid and guidance of Adriel Mammon Bao, who taught them the fundamentals of the precepts of light and reading mystic auras. Training and recovery continued as the days passed, and the great festival drew near, the Festival of Law. A festival held every cycle for the town populace, as the Elysians, the people of the Church of St. Plov, were busy with the preparations, for they were to hold and see to its celebration, an important festival indeed. The night before, Cerson, while meditating by the fire, was stunned when a great angel of light suddenly appeared before him. A being calling itself Sephirus greeted Cerson and offered him an alliance and a deal. The angel spoke of Raylan and the potential dangers he possesses, and the need to have him watched. The angel also warned Cerson of many enemies, wishing to see his personal demise and downfall, enemies among him and enemies from the cold cave. He left an offer for Cerson, a chance to unlock his fullest potential as a scion of an angel, an offer into the faith of he who has many names, and knowledge and powers available to those within it, and the power to wield and wither hellfire, a fire unquenchable and capable of melting even steel. Likewise, Raylan also conversed with an angel, but this one that dwells within his blade, a Taurus, who instructed Raylan to wait and taught him a ritual that allows him the ability to rip out the very fear from someone's heart, that sin of cowardice. Kola, flying through the caverns, occasionally hit with spells of fatigue, used his mystic sight, his newly gained ability, and spotted a vein of silver in a shallow stream down below. He descended to devour this tasty treat, and he found a strange stone amulet within this silver ore, and he began his flight back to uncover exactly what this curiosity is. And Virgil, recovering with the aid of a flask of cherry wine, began writing a journal of recent events. Nostalgia ran through his mind as he regaled Raylan of his past and strengthened his bond with his fellow Elysian and human, a brother in arms, a fellow man of Pelgan. And Visal, with the guidance of Kark, hunted wolves, took their teeth, and fashioned a brutal cestus, a spiked knuckle duster gauntlet, arming himself with more terrible weapons behind his terribly big arms. Stability has returned to the life of the Elysian Church, this Church of St. Plov, so far away from civilization. But for how long? How long can this peace last? We begin the opening scene with a history lesson. Clayport, located between Trade and Bale on the southern edge of the Red River of Dingan, the same Red River where Pelgan sculpted humanity. We come to a place called Clayport, a great growing metropolis. As we see in the picture above, a busy, newly formed trading hub, one of the many new trading cities and port towns established by the new humans. For only about 120 cycles have passed since King Bram ascended the throne of Bale and sits upon King Manticore's throne. There within this city, this trading hub, we open the backstory of one of our catalysts, Virgil Trackton. Clayport, predominantly a human-built civilization, but not with human hands, with Ferrum, muscle and ogres, brought here from the rest of Thru, so they can establish this great trading empire consortium. A trading empire located on a strategic point. For this is the key place where those who travel from the Great Desert of Ash must move through these lands, through these roads, in order to get to their fabled city of trade, the greatest city in the world. Though humans would disagree, of course, for theirs is Bale. This city, Clayport, held by Murkidius. That's correct spelling. A human, a vigilante, a victorious leader sent to take this land during the revolution, the uprising of humanity. And it is he, this man, who holds sway as Lord of Clayport. The population is mostly ogres and Ferrum, as is the majority all through, with a large percentage of humans, as much trade goes through the area. As seagulls call and sing in the heavens. And as we open our opening scene, Virgil Trackton, you are there with your son, Derek Trackton, walking through the streets of this great city, this clayport. New buildings of wood, high arched towers being built, new construction. It is indeed a place of growth. A very, very, very quick place of growth. You can remember, perhaps just 50 cycles ago, you remember this place was nothing but a collection of sea shacks by the river. But now it has grown to something much larger through the aid and the enslavement of ogres, Ferrum, and other such filthy creatures below humanity, below human standards. You are there walking amongst this crowded streets as you can smell the smell of the Red River flowing through, the sound of the docks, of movement here and there, Octolang, these large 12-foot long lizards moving past with these large carriages, large caravans filled with all sorts of strange goods. Goods from the Great Desert of Ash to the south, goods from Bale, salted pork and meats, as well as fine weapons as well, ores, stone, bricks, tanned goods, of course plenty of food and harvested plants and vegetables and fruits from the fields. As you're walking through, you see these great red-skinned 7-foot tall, red rippling walls of muscle and flesh ogres walking by, carrying heavy goods on their backs, moving up and down ramparts of the docks. You are surrounded by the docks along the main thoroughfare. It is about noon at this time, as you can see around you a massive bustle of activity. You are not from the city per se. This is the closest city where you live. You live in a small community, a small hamlet, about one day's travel from here, and so you come here on business and a little bit lost by the entire all the overload, the collage of visual sensations and smells. If you walk down the street, you can see open bakeries where freshly baked bread and cheese is brewed, as you know, all the smells, as well as you can walk through alleyways where garbage is dumped there and festering clouds of flies buzz in areas. Of course, there are no sewage facilities in this town, so it's this stuff is mainly dumped in the river. You can see some people carrying chamber pots and dumping it in the river, or dumping it in the street even, as you pass a Ferrum doing that. Despicable creature, long beard, as he regards you with a stony gaze as he moves on to his business, adjusting his foul apron. He looks to be some sort of butcher. As you walk through this thoroughfare, you see there are many buildings of poverty. The majority of these places are made of bits of wood in their construction. However, some of it is mostly cheaply offcuts of wood, not grand buildings which you've seen elsewhere. Though there are grander buildings in this city as well, but the majority do live in these shacks of leaning clay, as well as other bricks and mud. The roads here are compacted clay with bits of rocks in their construction, and various carts bump their way by as you hear cart drivers swear at the condition of the road. You catch that in Tehulian. The screams and boisterous laughter of ogres in the tongue of Mu nearby, as this where you pass what appears to be a sort of tavern, where you see some ogres outside enjoying a break, laughing. Of course, you cannot understand Moorish. Who would want to? But then again, you're not sure. As you walk there with your son, Derek Trackton, looking for Lord Murkaidius, Lord of Clayport. You have business with him, indeed. And interwebs, you are playing Derek Trackton. And as you're kind of moving through Virgil, with your son, Derek, as you're moving through these quite populated, quite heavily crowded roads, tightly compacted roads and alleyways, looking a little bit lost perhaps, looking for a ship you've been given a description of, one you know to be Lord Mercaidius's ship. So you look for the grandest one, but still you haven't caught it just yet, as there's lots of activity, as lines of cattle are being walked as well, cows, sheep, hens, ducks, the distant clanging of hammers. So all this scene. So would you please describe your character? This is many cycles earlier.
Many cycles earlier. Okay. I suppose at this point in my life, having not suffered the same things that I would come to later in life, I have a slightly more aggressive hairline. It's pushed a bit further forward. My hair, of course, is quite scraggly. A few less battle scars. My face is slightly less hardened. I'm not quite as grim in appearance as many people as now would recognise me. A few less pounds around the waist as well, and surprisingly to people who would have known Virgil at a more recent time, without a weapon in his hand or on his back. Dressed in quite modest clothing, just a small brown leather jerkin that keeps him warm during the day and just sturdy.
And
of course, quite large as well. Still 6'4".
yeah,
Yeah,
I think that's it.
still
Yeah.
quite large.
Yeah.
Yes.
Indeed, as of course upon you on your person you have Derek, your son, carrying various goods for trade, for you have come here to do business with Mercaidius. And of course upon you you have your customary mason's kit as well, hammer and chisel and other small instruments and accoutrements that depict you as a man of mason, a man of stone, but also a man who chisels stone, engraves it, as your profession, of course, has been to engrave tombstones nearby.
Of course.
As you walk, you eventually manage to find the ship, and eventually you manage to find Mercaidius as he stands walking through the thoroughfare, speaking with a Ferrum who's bearded. He looks up to him. They seem to be speaking into Julian as he's speaking. Oh, yes. Of course you can understand to Julian. Yes. Small Ferrum says, Lord Mercaidius, this is unacceptable. We cannot ship this amount. And he's kind of looking through his notes. And Mercaidius, as you can see in the picture above, he has kind of really dark brown/black hair, along a bit of frazzled beard as well. He's wearing opulent robes as well, opulent robes of grey and the like. And yeah, he's just looking down at this Ferrum with a puzzled expression on his brows. Yes, well, listen to me, Miss Young Master Ferrum. You must make this possible. I have friends who need these shipments in. King Bram himself has declared this must be so. We must get the blue stone to Bale immediately. I am the sea. As you kind of see this conversation coming by, you see Mercaidius as well, surrounded by a small group. You see 3 women who you assume to be his wives, standing by with arms back, head back, kind of looking up. Some of them are holding napkins and handkerchiefs, kind of putting their nose over the bustle and hustle of all these peasants in the streets, as they seem unaccustomed to being around such foulness. As standing on either side of them are these great ogres. However, they are fully armored and encased in a helmet, and they stand there, back straight. Unlike any other ogres you've seen before, these look regimental, and these are mostly, mostly clothed as well, which is another difference. As they stand there, big and proud, with the chest out, as Morokai. As you see this as well, when Derek, you're there with him.
Right. Well, so as not to disturb Lord Morokai in his heated discussion with the Ferrum, I'll approach his wives first, and nudging young Derek to follow my lead, I'll bow gracefully. Good day, my ladies, I say to them as I smile and make my way over. Quite a fine day out in Clayport today.
Indeed. Who are you?
Trackton, Virgil Trackton. This is my son Derek. We're travellers from an outside village.
It is a pleasure to meet you.
Oh.
We're here
More...
to visit your husband.
She kind of ignores you for a second, and she goes up to the two other ones and goes, "Oh, more villagers in this town. Exactly what we need. Hey, Sisyphus?" They kind of giggle off, you know, like complete bitches. And in this case, said no. At this exact instant, Mordecai says, "No, okay, enough. Go on, enough. I must. Virgil, Virgil Trackton. Yes, good. You are here. I've been waiting for you. Where have you been? Why are you talking to these women? Go!" And he kind of like he waves his hand at them and dismisses him. Enough of you! Can't you see I'm here being busy? You're chatting and gossiping. You're gossiping in the streets. This is not functional. This is unacceptable. Get back home. You. He points at the two ogres. You take them home. Hey. Virgil. Fine.
Smile very warmly at Lord
Morokai. Lord Morokai. As
good to
he's
see you, old friend.
Yes. No, he puts out his ring. Yes. Good. But you are late here, Virgil. I've been waiting for you, and I am not a good man at waiting. I am not very good at waiting. You see, I have so much to do. I am such a busy man. As isn't that right? And he kind of turns to his son. You see, we can assume to be his son. He has the same facial features as him in terms of he's just younger and taller. In nice, good quality iron metal armor. And he stands there, kind of giving him a nod as he's doing the bodyguard sort of deal with him. And Murkite is, yes, of course, Asthos, of course, yes. You speak wise words. He didn't say anything. You speak wise words, yes, indeed. Virgil, come with me. Who is this? Who is this you bring with you? Is this your daughter?
No. This is my youngest son, Derek, of our clan. I thought it would be a good educational experience for him to see such an opulent city.
Yes. He doesn't look like you, though. He doesn't look like you.
No. Not quite, but give him a few years in the graveyard and he'll come to resemble me.
Yes. Perhaps.
Pat my son on the back.
It is a pleasure to meet you, Lord Murkaitis. I look forward to doing business.
Yes, I'm sure it is. He reaches out his ring finger.
I lean forward and I kiss it, but I deliberately use my tongue to lick either side of his finger.
Oh God!
But make it look like it's an accident.
Yes. Enough with these pleasantries, Virgil. Come with me. We have business to discuss, and you are late,
course.
and so I am late because of this, and this is unacceptable. You work with me. You go to temple with me. Yes, now come. You are going to temple.
Of course.
Yes, you come with me. You will tell me. You will tell me how Father Trackton is doing. Oh, Virgil of Trackton. How is Trackton doing? Your father.
Do I stay here with the goods, or do I follow?
My lord?
No, bring him as well. This is more the merrier, and whatever. Just come.
Come, boy. Come. Yep.
It is like this. You have to teach the young, Virgil. You have to teach the young so they can think and they can understand and use their heads instead of being told exactly what to do. Mercatus, what about this? Mercatus, what about that? I have an entire city to move. You think these walls build themselves? I must. Virgil, I am a poor man, but not in opulence. No, I am good there, but in women. Yes, women. How many wives I have, Virgil? How many wives? Those 3. There are about 3 of 30. So many wives, so many problems. I need help. Virgil. Yes.
With your wives, my lord.
Oh no, not like that. I don't know. Maybe like that. But no. No, Virgil. No, that's Virgil. How is Trackton?
Quite well. Sorry, just out of character context. When you say how is Trackton, is that like the clan as
the
a whole?
top man. The top man.
The top man, of course.
The man Trackton.
So he is my father?
Yes, your grandfather.
Grandfather, of course. So he's quite elderly by this point.
He's immortal.
Oh, of course.
He's an
Right, no,
original
right,
human. He's an original human,
Right.
so he's immortal. And currently, he kind of lives in this area. He kind of lives in like his own manor / fortress / tower around the province of Pelgan's Grace. And yeah, he kind of he's been ill recently. A lot of people think he's dead, but you know that not to be the case. But yeah, he's been very aloof recently.
Right.
As a note to you.
Okay. Sure.
As you're walking through the streets of the city. Yep, go ahead.
Yes, my lord. Patriarch Trackton is quite well. Somewhat ill as of late, and of course, you know how the peasantry goes. Lots of rumours, but fear not, because he's well. But in his old age, of course, he appreciates his solitude, so he spends much of his time in his own home, enjoying his own company.
Oh,
But
yes.
I saw him the other day, and he is in good health and good spirits.
Oh, that is good to hear, Virgil of Trackton. Yes, that is good to hear. As he's kind of walking, when he walks as well, he's got a little bit of gut to him. When he walks as well, he's kind of like leaning. He's kind of leaning his head forward as if he's like he's carrying like a heavy weight. Like you see a lot of his mind. He's just walking. He's like, yes, that is good to hear, Virgil. Yes, we need health and we need strength in these times. Yes. Yes, all the peasants like to speak. Look at them. A Ferrum mostly. Bearded. Heretical. And just lost and foul, vile. And he's just screaming this into Julian. And it's just... as well, you know this to be the same language that Ferrum speak as well. And,
So we get like dirty looks.
yeah, a lot of Ferrum are like these Ferrum, of course, the short, stumpy, dwarf-like men with long beards.
Yep.
Those who aren't impious. They seem to be minding their own. Various of them are moving carts and goods, and very much. Some of them are tamping the earth, the clay, into sort of kind of roughing out roads, filling holes in the roads, things like that.
Of course.
Various are working there, of course. Some of them are working in the forges. Some of them are tanning goods. Some of them are weaving, as well as other things like that. Carving. Lots of industry is happening here. Lots and lots of like industry.
Of course.
As you're walking through nearby the fruit markets. Yes. Yes, Virgil, you see how many of these Ferrum here have to deal with. So many Ferrum. Ay, 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 it has been so difficult to encapsulate all of their hatred and all of their just the foulness. I mean, look at them. They wear beards. They wear beards in resentment of Tuhul, the great Tuhul, yes. Oh yes, Tuhul. Belgen good too, but Tuhul is strong. He's good. We go to Temple of Tuhul now. You know? Yes, you of course you know. Of course you know. Yes. Yes, as he's walking. Oh, Virgil Trackton, yes. Yes, you say you have this business you wish to discuss, yes. Yes, shipment of blue stone you want. Is I hear correct?
Yes, my lord. So, sorry, am I context again? Am I ordering it for myself, for masonry?
Yeah, for tombstones.
Yep, okay. So we're making a request, like a barter trade? Because you said, Tarek was carrying some of our supplies.
Yeah.
Right, okay, yep. Alright, well, yes, my lord, that is correct. We are much in need of some blue stone as soon as is available and ideal for you, of course.
Yes, but that may be quite wild, Virgil. That may be quite wild. King Bram, great King Bram, has ordered the Sword District to be reinforced with blue stone. Maybe troubles with shipments of blue stone in this area. Maybe the price you give me may not be enough. I don't know. I wish to help you, my friend. Of course, I wish I do, but it may be difficult. Yes, may be difficult.
Well, my lord, would you like to have a look at my wares that I've brought with me and see if there's anything that catches your eye, perhaps?
Oh, yes, of course, your wares. Yes, of course. I will look at that later. I'm busy. You are busy too. You're coming with me to temple. We will go now. We'll look at business later. We're approaching Iron Square as you're moving through the hustling bustle of the city. You see these great lumbering ogres walking about as well. And before you, stumbling out of a nearby dwelling place, falling in the thoroughfare, kind of stopping you, falling in front of you guys, you're kind of stopping the traffic of this road. We see a Ferrum who's shirtless, he's wearing a dirty loincloth, and it has a beard going down to his gut, with ample sized gut, and Ruru, you're playing this particular Ferrum extra. As you kind of stumble out, yes.
Okay, yep. That will take the liberties on you. Alright.
That's alright. As you stumble out, you're playing this Ferrum extra, you're stumbling out after having a hard day's drinking, after mourning over the loss of your great-grandfather in the war against these foul humans, as you fall down to your knees in the thoroughfare. What is this? Look, Virgil Trackton, look, come here, look, see, look at this poor wretch, Ferrum, you block traffic.
Don't be looking at me, lad. You haven't got what I lost.
Oh.
Look down upon me in my filth. I lost the only one I ever cared for.
We have all lost. And you will continue to lose more, Ferrum, if you continue to have that beard. It is like fungus to your... it is like disease of fungus. Yes.
I grew this from my family and all my entire race. What have you done? You're strutting about. You're in the damn city that you come here. We've been here thousands of cycles, and you've just been here near, what? 100? 150?
And what have you done in that time? In the 20 cycles I have been here, I have built this sea shack shithole into clayports. I look upon you, but not out of anger, you little thing, but out of pity. come to temple of the Hall, come. You come to temple of the Hall. Make your peace with great God who forged you of the soul smith.
I get, also, I go for him.
Hurt.
Wait,
My
go for
lord,
it.
is it wise to bring this thing along?
Huh? Why do you whisper? Speak up! Speak up!
There, laddie,
Hey,
if you've got
why?
something to say it to both of us.
Is it wise to join company with a stranger and bring him to your temple, my lord?
Here's one thing you must understand, Virgil. There are 500, no, 1,000 now, yes, 1,000 people within this city. They are all strangers. However, they are part of this city. This one down here is part of Clayport. We must bring them together, otherwise we shall crumble. Such as way we've seen before. Enough of this war between the humans and the ogres and the Ferrum. Enough of this. We must move in oneness of spirit and soul. Such as way. You, Ferrum, what is your... If being Virgil, if being stranger is bad, I shall ask him his name. But you, Ferrum, what is your name?
My name? You insult me and now you ask my name? Just know me as Ferrum.
Okay, Ferrum.
That's all.
Okay, Ferrum.
That's all you ever think of me.
You come, Ferrum. You come. I show you something you're losing. As he begins to shuffle on, as you may do what you wish, Ferrum. Of course, Trackton.
Yeah,
Derek.
I suppose I struggle myself up to his level and go with the group.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah,
And,
trudging.
yes, and Toza, are you there? He's not here. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
He's dead for the time being.
Yeah. So now. Yep. Good.
No, yeah, I thought he was there, but he's not. No.
No worries. As you are moving into this large square, think of this place as the main meeting place, a place where various town criers speak out latest announcements as well. A place mostly kept bare of stalls and other such marketplace areas and things. But this place is more of the nicer end of town, where instead of mud and clay roads, this road here is now mostly pavement as well, and a few stone structures stand, wooden mostly, but bits of stone in their construction. Of course, stone being a very opulent material, very opulent material. As you walk around, and you see that these stone buildings, to your eye, Virgil, are very well made, very well constructed and put together. As there is, of course, a great hustle and bustle of activity as Mercadius is walking towards, and you see before you, opening up as the crowds pass, as a big lumbering ogre passes past your vision, you unveil a great sight, a half-completed temple that stands here. It is incredibly powerful and austere if you think of Greek and Roman style buildings. However, having within their design is very raw, very strong, very blocky and slated. You see the stones of this great temple to be not that of like bricks and cemented together or clay together with clay or anything like that, but it's more stone slabs, very strong, very straight, and even to your eye, you can notice that within the stone various veins of metals and veins of silver, as if the whole entire structure of this great building, this great blocky square kind of shaped building, is filled with all these veins of silver put together. But the greatest centerpiece of all is this great statue that stands. There are many scaffoldings and makeshift wooden scaffoldings put around this place, as this is still being built. of high quality stone, and there are still a great many workers around, a lot of Ferrum, but mostly ogres, these red rippling muscle men, hairless, women and men of course, moving side to side, grabbing great packs of stone and like scraping rocks and scraping walls to make it smooth, cutting stairs, and many others as well. A few artisans are working on this great statue that stands. The statue depicts, it's half finished, but you can make out the general features of it. It looks to be like a standing hooded figure, but you don't see any facial features or anything like that. The hood kind of covers over it. However, from the base of the hood flowing down is a great beard that flows down and goes into is worked into the front of this building, and just below it is this main hall, these pillars that stand, which leads down into the depths. Well, this temple leads underground. And you see within this beard is worked many skulls, and very intricately carved. And this is what's being worked on currently. It's very intricately carved. It has like bits of metal and silver perhaps worked into its construction. I mean, something like this is incredibly expensive, and it's awe-inspiring. It's like, wow, this is like, this is amazing. As this great statue stands at about the whole entire building stands about, it's like 2 stories high, and on top of this, like on the 3rd story, basically like a full story size, is this great statue that stands up there. And around you, in the middle of this great square, is another small plaque, a centerpiece sort of fountain sort of thing, where there are various writings on it in the middle. It's kind of like a central gathering place. However, there are lots of tents nearby as well. Lots of workers move side to side, but you can hear from the distance chanting as you are starting to notice priests walk about here with these great tomes, stone slab tomes. Many of them, most of them being human, a few ogres as well, in a few robes about, and the Mercidius walks, but he walks looking back at you when you kind of reveal this great temple site to you. Yes, Virgil, this is temple. He kind of turns and looks at you.
Well, I'm kind of almost in awe because, like you said, it's quite a beautiful building. And I say, my lord, this is a work of art. Whoever designed this?
Oh yes, it has taken many cycles of construction and the entire funds to finance such an endeavor. But there are many fine artisans from trade that have come here and you've pooled their knowledges to build such a greatness. You see, you are a man of stone. No, you understand the intricacies. Look how the veins work into the construction. Look how the veins work into even spiral down the column. See, Ferrum, you see the greatness. And you see, Ferrum, you see this temple of Tuhul, the elder creator which cast you down, forged you, but turned its back on you. This hated symbol of human oppression and your past, and the foulness of divinities and the foulness of those who would play with your lives. And you see this great thing standing nearby, and it says, "Yes, yeah."
I sort of half out of one eye, good eye, I sort of look at it and sort of stumble like slowly towards it. Just trudging my little feet in comparison to the other sort of clay man. And I sort of look at the statue for a bit, sort of still swaying and wobbling. Then I look back and say, "So, this is the best you could do."
This is what I have to work with when I have nothing but Ferrum to build it, and ogres, of course. But one day, but this is most important, Virgil. I will tell you.
Yes,
I have many monies and opulences have been poured into the construction of this great building. Some say, Mercidius, why so expensive? Why so grand when there are people still starving in the streets. I say, no, you must understand. The most important part of any city is the temples, is the divine, for the divine blessings come. And so we erect this great temple to Tuhul that he may bless us, bless this port city. And so we may have much peoples, much monies, and eventually this, and it kind of leans in now towards close, this Ferrum rabble can be turned back from their heretical ways and come back to Tuhul and become proper, respectable peoples instead of degenerate derelicts. Ah, Virgil, my heart aches for those filthy people. My heart aches for them, yet they are so blinded by their hatred that they are almost lost. But I will not give up on them, no. I do not feel I can. Yes.
Of course, my lord. You're a very passionate man. I've always admired that about you.
Good. Very good, Trackton. Very good. You stick with me, you'll be with me, and then good things are going to happen, but I will get you your blue stone. But come, we shall have temple soon, but look, I am curious into wait a minute, construction, yes. Look, yes. It's coming along nicely. You see how the statue becoming formed, the beard and the skulls. Yes, it's coming good. Maybe I can find the taskmaster. Ugrash! Ugrash! As Sir Toza, you hear your name being called. You, of course. In the distance, you see an ogre standing with a stone tablet, an artisan overseeing this massive project, an artisan from trade indeed itself, as you're overlooking and screaming in Moolish at some of your brethren who dropped a great wheelbarrow of goods and who
Shame on your houses that you would drop such a hefty implement. Shame upon you.
The wheel broke! The wheel broke!
The ancestors are spinning in their cosmic graves.
Yes. As you hear a small old man voice come from the crowd below, as you're kind of standing on the scaffolding, sort of having a look at the construction of this great temple, and you see Agruash, yo, come down.
Yes, Master Mokaitis.
Yes. As you come down, but as you come down, you feel a little bit of trepidation, perhaps. As you know, the time will soon come. Indeed, the time will soon come. But as you come down there, you see, of course, Mercides stand there. His son next to him, all fine in armor. And Virgil Trackton, his son, Derek Trackton, and behind, following this bunch, Ferrum, half naked. And just...
right,
coughing.
I missed all that bit.
Yeah, half naked, coughing and just in a bit of a state, wobbling around. As he regards you with a knowing look, and Ferrum, of course, you know this ogre. You know him well. This ogre, you know this Ferrum well. Agruash, yes. How does the construction go? I see you started on the Great Beard. It is good.
Yes, so far on schedule. Is there a problem, my lord?
No, I have just been coming here to go for temple, you see. It is, of course, coming soon to the time where one must pray to the divine. One must become wholesome and holy and cleanse oneself from piety. Of course, you understand. No, you worship your Muge or your red god or whatever it is called. Yes, something like that. Yes, but Trackton, this is the one you asked me about. This is great mind. Though he's an ogre. He says this in front of you. There is an ogre, great mind.
You do me a kindness, Mercides. The stone speaks to me.
Oh, you shouldn't be taking that from him. Oh.
Why do you travel with this one?
Oh,
This filth that has been scraped from the clay streets, better left in the gutter from which he should have been born and died and left in.
I knew your father, Ogre. Don't you be throwing around those names.
Enough! What is this that we should fight in the streets? There is no more war! There is no more war! The war ended! We must build together if we want to have peace, love, and opulence, and monies! Monies to build this! Stop! Enough! Enough this fighting! Enough this fighting! As, during this bustle, a small, about 3 Ferrum start to approach as well. These are wearing much better clothes than our Ferrum friend here, as they are approaching Morokai Dias. Some of them are wielding great packs of lumber as well as other goods as well. Those of you with any grades in carpentry can recognize these guys to be basically like lumberjacks and carpenters, and from that sort of guild. As you know, in the Ferrum society in many areas in the world in medieval setting, you've got guilds who kind of handle like stonemasons guild, carpenters guild, pottery guild. You have all these kind of guilds, and so there's guild members and guild officials are a little bit more higher class. They have a bit more power to them. They usually own businesses. These are sort of like this kind of year. And so you kind of see these kind of a group of 3 Ferrum kind of approach, and they have short beards, braided, much more opulent than our Ferrum friend here. And they approach, saying, as Morokai Dias kind of like says, enough of this fighting, this infighting. I see. Look who comes. Gulan. Ha! You have come here with my proposal answer, yes? And Gulan says, Yes, Lord Morokai Dias. It is with these goods that I present to you our answer. Good. Very good. Very good. It is good to see that the Carpenters Guild here in Clayport has come to their senses and will come to work with me as we build and prosper in this great city, yes? Trackton, come here. And he kind of ushers you closer to him.
Of course.
And he says, yes, we have been thinking for a while, and though, of course, there are many things which stand between our peoples. You kind of look down at him. There is something we can do together that we can ensure the prosperity of Clayport, of this new city. Yes, that is very good. You see, Virgil Trackton, you see. This is how you must deal with them. This is how you must... BAM! Suddenly, Morokai Dias' head explodes into a red, like an exploding watermelon of red. Just what of just blood just smacks you in the face as this guild unveils a great warhammer and smacks him in the head. Ferrum, the time has come. Agrush, the time has come. Virgil Trackton, peace out. You see, Morokai Dias' son. Assassins! They've killed Morokai Dias! Assassins! Roll reaction.
I would like to rage.
PvP!
Fuck.
Give me your
I'll just roll something.
Oh, I
Yeah.
rolled.
I want to choke the one that did it. I want to choke him.
I got a 2. Wait, plus, do I add anything to that?
Yeah, you add your reaction bonus for you, Virgil. And everyone else, you're playing extras, so you just get plus one.
Yeah.
Bonus, so I'm on. I got 7 total.
Oh, there we go.
Holy shit!
I love being a fucking Ferrum extra. 24.
Alright.
Oh, oh, oh.
Alright, 24. Virgil was on 7.
It's
and
almost
Derek,
like he was in on it.
He was.
Oh god. Okay, so who goes?
Who's next?
I've got 10.
You got 10?
I've got 10. Yeah, I put it up there before. I got 10.
I got a 5.
I got a 7.
Oh, sorry, 6. I'm 6.
Yep. So those of us who are playing extras, you have a health gauge of 8, and you do 5 damage, or however you go about doing it. Alright.
Oh.
Alright, so Ferrum, it is your action. As you see the rebellion is starting. The time that has all long planning has started. As now it's time for you guys to attack. It is your action.
Damn.
Oh
Well,
god!
Who was the closest playman I can hit at this point? I want to go for them. And literally just basically, ground tackle.
That's probably Derek.
Derek? I'll go for Derek. So I'm basically, yeah, and I want to go for Derek. So he's roll at this hat.
Yeah, just roll your attack and +1.
Oh yeah, cool.
You're a status 1 extra. Let's get some PvP going on.
Do I roll as well?
Alright.
Yeah, roll your defense. Yeah, roll your defense. That's right.
I got 9.
9.
Alright, now,
You got the same.
I'll just give you a scene. As the Ferrum, many of them on your team, Agrush, of these carpenters working on this temple, have picked up their picks, have picked up their weapons, and are bringing it upon the humans. The humans, these men in robes, are taking out broadswords and are attacking. But there are many Ferrum, and there are many ogres. Ogres scream and run around, some fighting for Ferrum, some fighting for humans, some fighting each other as they scream and roar at each other. As this is just a massacre, a chaos. As you guys may describe what happens. This is your PvP. Go ahead.
Oh, cool. Well, yeah, I see Derek in my eyes on it, and before even taking anything, I just spear tackle. I launch it in this little form, this big, small, big form. It's a laying there and just getting right to the ground to start wailing into him.
We both rolled 9s.
So what do we do?
Attacker has to beat, so unfortunately you do miss.
Oh, okay, so I land into the ground and still a bit groggy from the morning's drinking.
Yeah, but you barely miss him, so it's like, you managed to clip him or something. But yeah. As next up we have the other of these 3 guild carpenters, as they're from their packs of wearing, they drop these wooden packs, and from them they've picked out these axes, these hand axes, and 2 of them go after you, Virgil. Roar for the fathers! And they run at you. Roll your defense, my friend. 2 defense.
Fucking hell.
Rest in pieces.
Plus my defense is 2, 12.
Okay, and these next ones, suppression. Alright, so your first one, you got 12?
Yep.
Okay, so the first one misses, and the second one, roll a total of 8. So, what's your second one?
Do I have to roll twice?
You're getting attacked 2 times.
9, so plus
11.
2, 11.
Okay, so you managed to avoid these 2 attacks as they come running at you. In this exact, you may describe what happens as they kind of shuffle towards you with these hand axes rage. You see their horrifying faces as they run at you. Fuck the humans! They scream as they run with these, with these axes, their big beards swaying.
Well, I mean, of course, that's probably the fastest I've ever had to move in about 30 cycles. So I'm a bit kind of shaken, but I dive kind of shoddily to the side, scraping my arm along the ground as I just get out of their big swinging arcs of their blades and pick up one of the pieces of lumber just for some sort of defense in the maelstrom of fighting going on.
Indeed.
Can I? Oh wait, no, it's not my action yet. Never mind.
And Derek, at this exact moment as well, just as soon as this Ferrum is trying to tackle you and get at you, The other one, now with this hammer, which is all bloody, look, just after smashing Mercideus' head, just runs towards you. Yeah! Roll your attack. Roll your defense, sorry. Oh, he did not
I
roll
think
well.
I'm dead now. Okay.
Alright, I rolled a total of 3.
Oh, I got a 5.
Alright, you may describe what happens as he runs towards you. Really badly.
As this person is running towards me, I look at my father, and the question on my face is like, what should we do? And as I turn back and notice that he's really almost on top of me, I'm like, oh, and like step back and try to walk backwards towards my father. And the sky goes crashing into the ground. His hammer smashes into the ground and cracks go into the ground.
Indeed, and is your action. As the bells are beginning to run, the warding bells, the riot is taking place, as the streets are chaos. Is your action, Derek?
I turn to my father and I say, Father, what should we do?
Yes.
Run!
I use whatever weapon I have.
Yeah,
and
you can find
the person.
Yeah, you can find a
What
piece
could I
of log nearby, a piece of stick. Yeah, a piece like a small
Okay.
club-sized thing. Yeah.
I pick up the club and like start running towards my father, and I hit the closest person to him.
No worries. Yeah, one of the two guys that.
Get him out of danger.
Yeah, go ahead. Roll your attack.
12.
All right, you do get him, and you have defeated him. So you may describe what happens. As you see, I see this Ferrum running at him with an axe, but he's kind of turning, running after Virgil Trackton, his short, stumpy legs. However, your long human legs manage to come after him very quickly as he kind of turns at last minute and sees you, but...
As he turns to look at me, I bring the club down and smack it across where his temple is, and I hear this crack, just as boom, as he hear the crack, and then his head just goes down, and the rest of his body follows him. He smashes into the ground. Blood starts to pour everywhere, and his legs start twitching a bit. And I'll just say, "Oh, it's Bale!"
Virgil, it is your action.
Alright, actually, question. Mercideus' son, the one that's clad in armor and the weapon.
Yeah.
Where is he? Is he still around?
He's clutching his father's, what's left of his head, screaming. He's just now stood up and pulled out his broadsword, and you see right now, he's decapitating a Ferrum's head right now in this exact moment. With his broadsword, just screaming, "Fucking die!" He just screams out in Pelganese.
Well, I think best probably. I want to actually approach Mercideus' son very gingerly, like as this fight is going on. With
You're currently being pursued by another Ferrum, but yeah, as a note to you.
Oh yeah, of course. Shit, where to find that? I can't find.
Do it, buddy.
Okay, we're gonna have to deal with the very end. So I raise up the piece of lumber that has been discarded by this Ferrum, and I look at my son, who of course just saved me from the fight, and I tell him, run, hide, do not get seen, and make your way home. And then I pick up the piece of lumber, and I want to swing it and try and bring it down right on the Ferrum's head and crush his skull in the same way
Roll
that he
your
did.
attack. Oh, I don't roll well.
10 plus, do I do my strength?
Alright, you get him, and you boosted twice, so you have dispatched him. I got a 2.
Yeah, nice.
As he's running towards you with an axe ready to sweep, an undercut sweep, but...
I bring the big piece of lumber down slightly more quickly than he can raise his sword, and I club him right in the head with a decisive thud. Leaves a dent in his skull as he stumbles onto the ground.
Yep.
And lays there, somewhat lifeless and still sort of twitching.
And Agush, this is your action. As chaos has fallen down, as you see ogres and Ferrum fighting each other in this madness. your work, your statue, your building, your temple you've been constructing for the past 4 cycles. Just in ruin, basically. It's being smashed. Is your action? Toza.
What? What? I'm here.
Yeah.
Sorry, I
It's
I
your
missed
action.
it.
Okay.
Alright.
As you stand there, there's a chaos in the streets as you see desperate humans
Right.
in robes.
We're out the front of the temple.
Yes. As Ferrum are streaming in from the alleyways.
I can see the Trackton boys.
Yep.
Yep. And what about Makaitis the Younger?
Oh, you see, he's just hacking a Ferrum's head right now.
He's getting in it.
Yeah. Your
Like-
boss is dead, as well. The guy paying you is now dead.
I can see this is going to shit. All my employees that I would like beat and like yell at for not doing their job are all in there. I'm not sticking around in there. They're gonna go after me. I'm gonna get out. I know as an ogre that's not really like thing, but I'm just looking at the numbers going, I'm not dying for this.
It looks, yeah. So in this moment, as you're kind of looking around, you see that there are so many Ferrum streaming in now. This has been organized. You see a few ogres running around, some in confusion, some of them rampaging through the columns of Ferrum streaming in, like swinging wildly. As others,
Is there anyone running at the Tractons?
Yes. There's one ogre running with a massive, like a sledgehammer used for smashing
this.
bricks.
I
He's just
got
running
this.
towards the Tractons. Alright, go ahead. Give me
I just slowly go into a run, like a rhino, starting to build up speed, like not quite the Hulk, but if it was a man, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like building it up, and I just start to chant, run at me, you coward. Death will be the end of your fear. Roar.
Roll your attack. Oh crap, I didn't.
Tremble and despair. Alright. 12.
12. You get him and you
13.
boost
13.
Yeah, you boosted as well, so you dispatched him. So you may describe what happens.
I just run at him slowly, and I see him like bring the hammer around for an overhead, and I just like lean my head and dodge it, and then I just bring my arm around and like coat hanger him. He decks down, I just stomp his face in like in one fluid motion, crunch, and and I just say at the end, and so it shall be.
And when he falls, the swinging sledgehammer goes flying and takes out a Ferrum. Right next to you! Ferrum, Cola.
For an ogre, I'm kind of like this weird, like, clerical type ogre, because I quite enjoy my work at the temple, and I just say, beyond contestation.
Indeed. As, we come to the top.
Biggest word I know.
Yep. We come to the top, Ferrum, it is your action.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm still alive.
You're alive still, yeah.
Oh, I'm sort of alright. Oh yeah, I gotta roll. Hello.
Oh, you're attacking Derek or Virgil? Or...
Oh well, I'm sort of okay. Oh no, just to have that on the side, right? So as I'm sort of getting up after just missing was it Derek itself, I'm sort of trying to get my senses or whatever. And can I go spot Derek again? Because I want another crack at him.
Yeah, he ran off to his father, so you're kind of running up behind him. So
I can run after him. I sort of know where they are.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no.
Derek, roll your defense.
Yeah, so I got 19 just to...
Oh, roll your defense, Derek. Tell me what you got.
God!
I got a fucking
I got a 9.
You got 9. All right,
buddy.
Derek. You're boosted twice, so you do like like 5 plus. Yeah, you have 8. Yeah, Derek, you have 1 health gauge left from this attack. So you almost kill him, Ferrum. So you may describe what happens.
Alright. So as I sort of like shake it off and get up from the ground or whatever, I sort of seen like the trail of destruction where they sort of run off to. So I'll start my little stumpy run once again or whatever through the chaos that's ensuing all around me, sort of dodging, ogres swinging with the bantaments and all the Ferrum was attacking claymen and what have you. But I'm like a bloodhound. I find where it was in there is or whatever. I see him sort of still running or whatever. He turns to his side or whatever and sort of sees me and just like, oh, he almost stopped me last time. I wanted to keep running. I'm like, nah. You're not getting it. I find can I find anything around me?
Yeah, there's like picks. There are clubs around. There's bits of stone and rock nearby as well. There's
I got it.
Yeah.
I got it. What I see was a tool for this. Was it a pick or whatever from a dead Ferrum or that night, sort of heave it from his dead hands or whatever, and a bit of stone, all in one sort of fluid motion while still sort of running after him and all that. And Piff was the stone right at him and take his legs out as he sort of drops down or whatever on one and crashes to the ground or whatever. And I still run up to him and go and just like hack at him, and I think pierce him through the leg so he can't run at all.
Yes, as you see Virgil in this moment as you managed to smash this last Ferrum after giving that warning to your son Derek, and you look back and you see this Ferrum, this horrifying creature, half-naked beast of a thing, take your son's legs out and starts hacking him down. As Derek, you may describe what you're doing at this moment.
Okay.
Pretty cool.
I didn't see the Ferrum, the guy that we showed kindness to. I only felt a rock collide with my back, and as I bring my arms back, I'm like, and turn around, I get stabbed with this pick through the leg. I fall to the ground, and it gets forced into the ground, so I'm like pinned with this pick in the ground, and there's blood going everywhere, and I'm screaming in pain and yelling at my father to run.
Yes, but before your father manages to come, another one attacks him. This Ferrum with this great bloody warhammer comes running towards you with fury in his eyes. Virgil Trackton, make a roll for me. Holy shit! Alright, Virgil Trackton, you're knocked down. I rolled double 8s.
Oh, fuck!
Alright, I rolled a... What'd you roll?
19.
19. Yeah, I rolled 20. So he gets you, you're knocked down, and he deals 6 points of damage.
Oh shit.
Right, 6 points and you're knocked down, you're prone. As you may describe what happens as he comes at you with his warhammer. As you see your son fall, so too do you!
Oh god. Well, of course, I'm still looking at my beloved son as I try to urge him to escape this madness, and distraught watching him be pinned to the ground by this filth. I scream, no! But it's cut short. I get clubbed in the head and drop to the ground. Everything starts to blur, and I'm not really sure where I am anymore as I sort of drift.
As you lie there in concussion, you see this great form above you mightily roar, "Death to the fucking humans!" As chaos ensues, as Tarek, it is your action. As you're pinned by this other Ferrum standing over you as well.
I'm pinned in this leg. I'm going to reach my arm out to the other Ferrum that I just killed, and I'm going to take his axe. I'm going to use it to try and hit the one that's just attacked me.
Yep.
That bad.
Roll your attack, and Ferrum, roll your defense.
And do I gain both the defense or
+1?
+1. Oh well, I got 11.
Yeah.
I got 5.
Yeah.
I missed.
Alright, so Kola and Visa, you may both describe what happens. I mean, no, ruin into it. I mean, both describe.
Yeah, Web, you go first.
As I'm screaming in pain, my eyes closed, I'm reaching out to get anything nearby, and I feel my hand touch something wooden. As I put my hand around the shaft of this axe, I look at it, and it's covered in blood in the haft, and I reach back as I'm laying down and try to swing it forward at this guy's head that's in front of me, but the blood is too slippery and the axe slips out of my hand and falls to the ground. As a look of fear is in my eyes as I look at this barrel and just, oh shit.
And I'm Ezra, and as I'm sort of standing over him with the pick still lodged firmly within your sort of leg or whatever, I sort of just laugh. It's like, you Claymen thought you're going to win this. That's all.
As, Virgil, it is your action. You lie there.
Can I do much from an unconscious position on the ground, or am I still?
You can try to escape. You can try to. Yeah, there's a few things you can do, but you're prone, so it will probably take the majority of your action. Unless you try to attack this Ferrum, like from your position on the floor, you probably need to like spend a turn around to get back up. Try and roll out of the way.
Would I? Let's see. Oh wait, do I still have my my piece?
Yeah.
Sweet. I want to make an attack roll.
Alright.
To try and take his legs out from under him.
Alright.
I'm gonna. So I add my strength to my attack, don't I?
You add your dex rating.
Your dex rating. Alright,
Yeah.
so that's 2, so that's 10.
That's 10? Alright. Unfortunately, it's not enough. As, you roll, like, you also -4 penalty because you're prone as well. So, yeah, he managed to get a total of, 11. So he just stands there and that doesn't do much, so he just laughs at you. Ha ha! The death will come upon you, you filthy scum! And he begins to slowly raise his warhammer above his head. Agrush, this is your action as you see these two humans being felled.
Sophie's choice.
Surprised I was concerned about that.
I guess I'm gonna go for the punt. I'm gonna try and kick the crap out of the scummy little naked one and get it off Derek. I'm gonna try and just kick him into the river.
Okay, roll your attack. Ferrum, roll your defense.
Well, I don't think I can't actually get him into the river, but it'd be funny.
Yeah, no, go. I'm worried.
So I got 5. I rolled 5 plus 1 is 6.
Okay. Ferrum, roll your defense.
Oh, I'm good at these things.
This
Oh,
little
11.
hobo's got good rolls.
Hey, that's the drink helps me.
So I don't connect with him at all. I mean, I feel like I go for the kick, but I mean like kind of like when you fuck up a sand wedge in golf. I feel like I just scooped out clay in front of him and just like splattered him with clay, and I like cut through the clay like butter.
Yeah, and as you run towards him as well, just as you're running towards him, a great plume of debris kind of hits your face as splinters get in your eye and mark your kick off as you hear this massive creak as you look up for a last second and you see the great statue of Tahul above begin to fall and creak and crack as the thing comes down upon the entire scene. Ooh.
In the last action of me pinned to the ground, I reach out towards my father, staring at him as this statue is coming down. And this, like, one hand trying to pull this kick out of my leg, stabbing me into the ground, and the other one reaching at him with panic and fear in my face.
As boom, 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 the collapse echoes throughout your mind as boom, 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 boom. We open. Virgil Trackton, you awake from that memory, no, that nightmare of the events of that massacre back in Clayport. You lie there. It is the current day, the morning of day 20, the day of spiders. You jerk up. The fire is still going. You're in the halls of absolution in the Church of St. Plov. As you jerk up and shake as the vividness of that dream, the cherry wine goblet you were drinking with before with Raylan Dune crashes and smashes upon the ground as you lie there awake in a sweat, thinking about the events. That horror of that place, of that time, as you remember, you sit up in bed and you remember being dragged from the rubble after the massacre, being dragged half conscious, half alive by Virgil Trackton, who came for you at the night for the events of that riot, the events of that rebellion spiraled into a rebellion lasting for an entire cycle. And that entire cycle, as the majority of the human population and some of the ogres who were loyal to the humans fled back to the docks of Clayport, fled the city became under the control of the Ferrum, who rose in rebellion and dominance, who sought to retake Bale. However, then came a war in Clayport. The blood of Mercaidius and the assassination led to this bitter war. As you lie there awake, you remember your son Derek, who was lost in the rubble of that great statue who fell, and the others with you there. And you remember as you hid away for an entire cycle in a Ferrum controlled city overlooking the ports, as you hid in an old derelict tower on that day, a cycle after those events, after that Iron Square massacre, as they call it. You saw the coming of the armies of Bale. You saw the landings upon the beach. Before the landings of these of this army, a great darkness came. It was at dusk, and the great darkness from the Red River came. The army of Bale had encircled Clayport. The Ferrum were digging in, fortifying the city against the siege. But the attack came from an angle they were not expecting, for they did not see it. The ships that came and docked and landed, the ships carrying soldiers, carrying the tribe of High Crow. The pale-skinned, purple-haired humans who came with their Dusk priests, who came and liberated Clayport so many cycles ago. And now, where that great temple of Tuhul stands a great temple to Laku, the god of Dusk. And no longer Mercaidius lives to rule over Clayport, but now another Edid Arachne, a noble from Bale, came to Clayport and now rules there. Your family is still there, though. Thinking back now, the entire journey you've left since coming from Clayport and now arriving here at this Elysian congregation, leaving back that life, that city where that pain was. Thinking about your family, your extended family, still living on that hamlet outside Clayport, and you having to leave due to the collapse of the business, due to it being taken over by the Church of Laku. And yes, indeed, at this moment, perhaps if you're happy, you can give a soliloquy as you awake from this memory / nightmare.
Okay. Shit, I haven't heard anything yet.
That's okay, don't worry about it.
I wake shaken, angered. It's been a long time since I've pondered on these things. A long time since I've had my sleep disturbed with these memories. I feel anger swelling in my chest. All I can remember is the feeling of helplessness as I watch my son be beaten into the ground by that disgusting creature, that Ferrum. And I remember my desire, my drive at that time to never feel that helpless again. Never again will I leave myself in such a situation. Never again will I let somebody in my protection fall the way that Derek did that day. Yeah, that's all I got. That's all I got. Yeah.
Awesome, thank you. As you awake there, and we move to another scene in this exact moment. As Cola, you are flying back through the underworld caves. You do not sleep still. It is very early morning, about 2 o'clock in the morning now, as you're flying back through the underworlds with this treasure you found, this small chunk of ore, silver ore, which you found. Some of it you've eaten, some of it you kept, and this interesting small amulet, this strange thing you found as well, as you carry that. But in this exact moment, as you're flying back towards the halls of absolution, the halls, the underworld just beneath the Elysian Church, beneath the orchid, as you fly back, suddenly you get a flashback, a flash of an image, and you see a great city by a port. You see, overlooking a burning city, you see the docks on fire, you see chaos in the streets. Just for a flash, you remember feeling the emotion pity as it kind of flashes for a second in your head, as if it's some sort of strange fleeting vision. And in this moment, as you're flying, it kind of takes you back, and you kind of zip out of consciousness for a second. And I'd like you to make me an acrobatics, dexterity acrobatics roll to, as you basically essentially stop flying, stop gliding, and almost start plummeting to the floor from very far.
Yeah. Well, I got a 14. Have I go?
That is up with your acrobatics and dexterity.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That should be with Dex, I think. Oh, hang on, no, that's another +3, so that's +5. Oops, sorry.
That's all right. That's about 21, I think. Yeah, that's enough. So just as soon as you do, you manage, as you come back to consciousness, you see the floor of the underworld coming closer and closer and closer. And he's like, whoa. As you manage to establish yourself, as you kind of see this bizarre vision just come out of nowhere, and just this slight headache as well. Strange, you never had this before. As that just kind of pulses out at you as you approach pits of absolution, flying there. Perhaps what are you thinking at this moment on this?
Yeah, what is that? The strange concept of a headache and the flash itself, or not another emotion, another feeling, pity. And I'm thinking to myself, why do I feel this? I don't know these people. I've never been to that place that I saw. And then I sort of think to myself, and that object, that amulet I picked up sort of earlier, when I sort of looked at it, I was like, is it because of this?
It glimmers slightly, and it still feels... There's like a strange, foggy aspect to it. Whenever you look at it with your mystical eyes, you could say. It still feels a little bit cold to touch, still. As you make your way back to the pits of absolution, Cola, you may please give us a description of your character as you're arriving.
Sure. Well, as I arrive, and to see all the rest of the Elysians to see was in my stony form as an Arwen. Standing was fairly short, but I mean at the same time very heavy. Almost was at 500 or so kilos, something ridiculous. As I sort of swooshed down onto the ground itself, whatever, my concrete-like stone appearance and all that is glazed over since there was a trials of old sort of, and there's appears to be sort of no cracks or scars as it is. I have sort of horns upon my head as well as great sort of flapping wings. And a very sort of stoic expression or whatever. Seeing emotions glance by my face is not a very common thing at all.
As you come there, and as you arrive back towards the pits of absolution, of course night is a very boring time for you as well because a lot of the others are asleep. However, you do see one individual nearby. You see Adriel Mammon Baal sitting not by a fire, but still upon a small circular indent into the rock on the edges of the halls of absolution, as he's kind of on the edges of one of these tunnels which leads closer to the halls, as you hear the ambient sounds of those suffering inside those cages from those halls, as well as the burning fire in the distance as well. But you see Adriel Mammon Baal there. He has this lantern and various other goods upon him as well, like a statue and a backpack placed on the side next to him, as he's seems to be in sort of meditation, looking at this ball of light within his lantern as in this moment. So you kind of see this
and I sort of walk sort of pace towards him and trying to basically get his attention a little bit, because given his eyes, I assume he's got a basically almost 360 sort of view surrounding or whatever. So I try to make my sort of presence known as I walk towards him.
But however, his presence is not initially noticed. Your presence is not initially noticed by him, as the light he kind of has. He's opened up the lantern, and this light, this ball of light, this orb is just kind of fluttering around and pulsing. And suddenly it zips towards your direction, just completely away from him. It zips towards your direction. It kind of like comes up to you and starts dangling in front of your face, and darting from side to side like some strange, like a bug or something like that, just kind of darting side to side. And it kind of...
I sort of watch and try to shoo it away. I'm not sure exactly what it is.
Cola. This is Cola, yes? Please come. And he speaks in a strange language, and he holds this light to come back towards him once again as he kind of beckons it towards him, and he kind of looks at you. He appears quite pleased as you approach. Please, Cola, come. Sit with me.
And that's sort of acknowledge and the pace with to his side and sort of sit down as gracefully as I can. I'm not accustomed to sitting.
Come down with a thump as this. It is good to see you, Cola. I have been meaning to speak with you for some time. Your training in the precepts of light has been most astucious. You have been very skilled in training these arts. In fact, I can see that this heavenly orb, Zenkurano, is very asphyxiated with your essence. Yes. See how she dances around you. She's pleased by your presence.
And then sort of knowing that now, I sort of put my sort of hand up again, and instead of trying to shoo away the orb itself, or whatever, I tried to sort of nurture it, I suppose, or whatever, and it sort of dangles around the hand.
It seems to coo appreciatively, gives like this small coo, kind of light as it kind of darts around and sings around. Yes. I see you have been on flying duties down in the underworld again, have you, Cola?
Yes, it's been quite pleasant. Honestly, I do prefer sort of flying to stamping around like everyone else. Seems to be my natural sort of persuasion, if you will.
Indeed. After all, you are blessed with such amazing wings. It'll be a shame for you not to use it. Truly, I must say, Cole, that I am envious in a way. I, of course, have the aspect of a fly, yet, as you can see, I have no wings. Not like you. It is a very good thing. I can only imagine what it will be like to fly.
That's true. Well, it always looks to fly, and here's the thing, something I enjoy.
Yes, to fly like the angels. The great angels. I've just been in prayer, you see, but I finished. You're not disturbing me. Yes. It has been interesting, these events of late. I fear my time here must be shorter, for I must be leaving soon. My time here is almost up. However, still, you have been good to me, Cola. It has been very interesting to see one of Zoust here, worshipping Ollis here. But it is interesting. Tell me, why do you pursue Ollis so?
That's actually quite a good question. I've asked it myself a few times, even the trials themselves. What did I guess? I needed something to believe, to cling to. I mean, as you mentioned, that Tess cast me out, and I do not know why.
She kind of frizzles. His straight, spiny hair's a little bit in agitation. He kind of leans on his hunches forward a little bit more, and he says, "Yes, that is most vile. Such a thing. You are still young, I know. For you, I do not sleep. I have never seen you sleep. I've seen a few Arwens around. Various serve in the Zoustian orders of the Enforcers. Seek out vile, contaminated, and other foul creatures of the underworld. But you are different. You do not sleep. They sleep. They sleep for a long time. But you do not. You must be young. Very young. Still.
Some might say too young to know.
Perhaps you need guidance. Perhaps. And in this exact moment as well, Cerson Omars, it has just been that event, that meeting with that angel, Sephirus, as you walk for a stroll, unable to sleep, perhaps deep in ponder and thought, as you see in the distance a floating light, unlike the other lights you've seen before, of these fireplaces, these torches, and you see the zipping light around, and you spot Adriel, Mammon, and Cola sitting further off, down past the holes. So here's your option. You may approach if you wish, or you may do something else. You're currently in the scene. Before you do, please describe your character.
Okay, so my character is a Vigish. His name is Cerson Omars. He's of House Cerson from the Cold Cave. He's 6'3" and roughly 75 kilograms. But he has a jet black hair with deep blood red eyes. He has a sort of yellow, palish skin and but also he has horns on the top of his head, or frontal forehead, and then he has black claws on the end of his fingers.
As you see this small, strange group out into the clearing further off, past the main halls where the cells are, it is your action. It is your action.
Okay, I just want a question first. How close is the light towards their group?
The light is...
Me.
Oh, to you? The light is kind of hanging around, kind of floating around, this orb of light.
Okay.
Pleasantly floating around these two. It occasionally kind of darts within about 10 meters around. It looks to be like, I don't know, curiously... You get the impression it looks to be curiously looking around at a few things. Playfully.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see that.
So I approach the group and I ask, huh, neither of you can sleep either?
Shershin Omas. The Adriel Mammon bows deeply. It is interesting to see you are up as well. No, I have been praying. A lot has been on my mind. And Kola motions towards you.
No, I've mostly been flying. I don't sleep, so... And something to occupy myself.
Yes. Would you join us, Shershin Omas?
Oh, yes. So, I don't usually sleep too much, but I sometimes take the availability to.
Yes. Indeed. It's strange, though. Or perhaps not strange. The other Elysians seem to be fast asleep. They have been preparing for the Festival of Law tomorrow. I heard talk amongst the others much about it. It seems to be a worthy festival, a festival around building community, around building ties, as well as a law court case. Most interesting, I'm sure, the priests and Temple of Helena, whom we all serve, as she is the Queen of Order, the leader of the enforcers of which he who has many names in Aulis faithfully serve. It is good you have these festivals, so please, Shershin, sit. I have been deep in meditation, praying to the great angel that he may give us light and life, as well, just mentioning to Kola my envy of his wings and his ability to fly.
I sort of give them a slight flap as he says that. It's a stretch.
A small wave of gust begins to fly around as a little dancing orb as well. As soon as you give that flap of gust, it starts to kind of gets pulled along as if you're flapping it, as if you're flapping it, and it kind of starts whizzing around excitedly around you, Kola.
What on this earth is that?
She is in Kaktura, a facet of light of our master, a small angelic form, simple, but she is graceful. She gives off light and warmth as well. She sees much. Indeed. As kind of turns its head, cocks it slightly towards you, Shershin, looks at you. Shershin, you look different. I cannot put it.
So I lost my horns just before.
Yes. About them. You are of angelic blood. I see it. It is obvious. It is most curious to see those who are touched by angels. Most curious indeed. Strange, though. Strange, very strange.
Yes. Well, that is definitely so. For I'm not a regular angel.
No.
Where I was sort of created by my race.
Ah. Potent. You are potent then.
More of Anarchite with a bit of Vigish.
Blessed you are by the great angel, he who has many names. Some may call him the Father Angel. Still, I am perplexed about one thing. Why is it that a Vigish comes so far here to serve Ollis? And why is it that an Arwen serve Ollis out of familiarity? Do you not know there are other enforcers? There are many within the enforcers, many which protect the light and the life and banish darkness. And as she says banish darkness, the orb of light begins to rest upon his 3-clawed hand, and it brilliantly radiates more light in a pleasing fashion.
I believe it was more happenstance than anything else. Not saying it's particularly a bad thing. It just seemed to happen.
Indeed. But of course, there are other roads, other doorways, other doors, other avenues which you may take. Ollis is not the only one. Have you ever considered the great angel?
Well, as you've been here, it's been quite interesting talking to you, Adriel. And you have mentioned you have many names. And I would like to know more knowledge about said angel.
She is the greatest angel. Long ago, after the dying of the eternal night and darkness, there was a time long ago when day and night coexisted. There was no time of light, there was no time of darkness. These two forces, our Mazda when it was alive, and Ahriman fought in the heavens. But that was a long time ago. And since then, our Mazda created angels, the first seraphs, and gave them dominion and power. But there was an empty spot, for there was no one to fill the role of Avatar, the leader of the faith of our Mazda of the light. And so these angels fell upon each other. They devoured each other to seek the greatest strength, and in doing so they devoured each other's consciousness, so it was not pure slaughter or mindless killing, but it was a combining of strength. And these 66 angels became one, and that is the great angel we know today, he who has many names, he who shall become the new divinity of the sun, he who guards the souls of hell and keeps the foul 44 trolls under lock and key, and protects the light and the life from annihilation, from death. That is the great angel.
Interesting.
Sounds like he's got a big job.
Indeed.
Very
And
stressful.
the angel needs many followers to do his work. Many servants of all kinds.
Well, Adriel, we appreciate you giving the knowledge to us and expanding what we sort of know. And in that light, I sort of pull out the bauble and sort of show it to him. Would you know what this might be?
Let us see. And Cerson, you see Kola take out a chunk of rock, but within it there are veins of silver. and shining metals, and embedded, it's kind of like half cracked open, like if you cracked open like a rock melon, and inside there seems to be a small medallion, kind of like a stone, very like milky kind of substance. It kind of gleams like a pearl, probably very similar to a pearl, and it kind of is at an oval shaped and has various engravings on it, but it's a bit difficult to tell exactly what they're about. And it shines and gleams very brilliantly. Do you have any grades of an occult, Cerson?
Let me see. Occult. I've got 1.
Okay, you can make me an occult roll. It's intelligence rating
roll.
plus.
So... 14.
14. Unfortunately, it won't be enough. What you kind of can glean from it is there is. What you basically can glean from it is there is very often there are various not enchantments, but there are various special effects and properties given to such items. Especially something like this, you can probably make an educated guess that this is something of note, perhaps something which is occult, something which is maybe even magic. You don't know, but it is something to be a little bit wary of, something you've read about in the archives of House Cerson, things to watch out for.
I think this thing. I can't. It was a while ago. This is earlier in my life when I read about this thing. But I think you might want to put it on the table instead.
As you say, and I sort of will place it.
Wait. He kind of pulls your arm back and he kind of looks at it. You're not picking it up. He's still in your hand, but he's kind of pulling your hand closer to him. You're kind of inspecting it. This is a moment. As it begins speaking these ancient words, and you see his eyes, his multiple billion concave eyes, begin to glow and dim slightly as you see him look and peer through the eyes of his spirit at this thing. As he looks upon it and he sees, I know this. Fret not, Cola. Certain, this is not dangerous, perhaps. You have an onyx stone, Cola. It is in... What is this material around it? He's pointing towards the silver. What is this?
Well, this is something most delicious, at least to me. It's called silver. It's gleaming. And I sort of, as I was saying it, I sort of stroke it slightly because I'm like...
Of course. Interesting, it comes in such a strange... Yes, this is an onyx stone, but not just a regular onyx stone. This one has a inhabitant.
Inhabitant?
Within this stone, a soul lies trapped. A ghost, a spirit, someone past. But what would it be doing inside rock and stone? This is most curious. Most curious. Unless... Session. What do you know of Chthon rituals? Those who worship the Who? Make me a theology check. Theology plus intelligence. So
3. 23.
23. All right. You do know that Trithon, as you know Trithon, because you have enslaved many of them. They are your most they're the majority of your slave stock back in the cold cave. They are so easy slaves. They are not very hard working, but there are so many of them. You know their customs as well. You know that they some of them
take up
worship.
like a 63% content produce.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely. As you know, these Chthon, those who worship Tuhul, what they do is they take silver and they melt it back into the stone. To them, to these specific Chthon, this cult of Tuhul, which is a very, very popular cult, Chthon ritually melt silver back into the earth, back into the underworld, for they see it is blasphemous to mine silver from the body of Tuhul, which is the underworld. And you know this very clearly to be a fact. And you can deduce that this onyx stone, or whatever this thing is, was encased in silver and taken by Chthon and melted back into stone. Hence why this amulet is within rock.
So the Chthon have done this ritual many times. So several lashings are pertinent to the Chthon back in the cold cave for doing this sort of thing. The principle is that they believe Tuhul is the embodiment of silver, and they don't like it when people dig it out of the ground, so they just melt it down and stick it back in the rock.
Most curious. That explains why this onyx stone is within this. A good find, Kola. You hold power within your hands. And she kind of backs out and she kind of pushes it towards yourself, Kola. Yes. Power within your hands. This can be used for many purposes. Of course. It is your desire to do with it what you will. It is always interesting, and he kind of pulls your arm back. Looking closely at this. The soul of this, what this thing once was relatively pure. They say that onyx stones, those who are tainted with sin, when they are placed within an onyx stone, they become black like the night. But those who are pure shine white like marbles, like the sea spray. This one, you can see specks of sin here or there, but mostly pure. Interesting.
As a sort of grasp in my hand, so you said there were things you could do with this. What could you do?
Various rituals may require sacrifices of such. Those within the Church of He Who Has Many Names ensure that these lost souls go to their rightful place. If they are sinners, they go to hell. If they are not, they are given onto Tuhul. But others may be used for other purposes.
Very well, I might be able to learn one of these rituals one day, for knowledge sake. And we'll see. And I sort of, at that moment, I sort of grasp my hand and sort of put it away.
One of your many pouches.
People say, keep your enemies closer.
Yeah, that's right.
True. Wise words spoken, Sersen. Still, I was mentioning to Kola. I must be heading off soon. I shall leave after tomorrow's festival. I still wish to stick around. Raylan concerns me.
No, I too. Strange how the transition could happen that quickly. Honestly, I don't understand it myself.
Neither do I. I saw the sin in his heart. It was unlike anything I've ever seen before. When I confronted it, it escaped. It vanished. It was something. A shadow. A shadow within a shadow, if that could be possible. It has been on my mind for quite some time. How can something
All
like that...
things have masters.
Indeed. So exactly what is the master of that which lurks within his heart? What is that I saw?
Well, anything, Adriel, even if you leave, I'm sure that Cersei and I here will keep a good eye on him.
It will be good that you do. In fact, Cola, would you do me a blessing? Please. And he speaks a few words, and the orb comes flying back within his hands. And it comes down upon his hand, and he begins to chant more words. And as he closes, the light begins to dim slightly, more, until it essentially almost fizzles out. And when he opens his arm again, his hand again, a single round orb of gold, like a gold marble, is in its place. And he presents it. Cola, I wish you to look after Zinc Kultura for me.
Well, of course. And I sort of always put my hand out so as gently as I can or whatever, and wait for it to be placed.
Warm to touch and a little bit pleasant.
Oh.
Just a tinge of pleasantness. Yes. She has long been my companion here, but I fear that my travels will take me to places where she is not needed, and you have been good to me. I wish to extend to you a gift and a method so that if you wish to contact me, especially regarding the one they call Raylan Doon, speak these words to her, call my name, and she will deliver a message from you to me. We can use this.
I sort of, as I cross it, and go, I think I will.
Thank you. You honor me, Cola, with your greatness and your kindness. And you, Saoirse no Mars. It is always an honor to meet one blessed by angels such as yourself.
Thank you, brother.
Yes. I hope we will meet again. But tomorrow, the feast, the harvest, the festival. Is there anything else you guys would like to do in the scene as it begins to close? However, just before it does close, Raylan Doon, you been walking outside of Virgil Trackton's chambers after drinking a little bit. You're a little bit tipsy as you walk throughout these halls. And in this moment, you spot the three in the distance, just on the edges of the pits of absolution. You hear them whispering, talking amongst themselves as you see that, this small gathering. As you may, it is your scene, your action, and in this moment as well, you may perhaps describe your character.
Okay, so Raylon is a mature, refined-looking man. Not overly built up, but more slender and graceful. But since his training has become a little bit more toned and weathered, he stands at 5'11". More of a lean, athletic build. He has light hair, and he's ever since his adventures, since his time with Kark, and then following Ollis, and then with the other adventurers, his once pale-looking skin now has a slightly darker tone to it. Now that he's been traveling outdoors a bit more, spending less time in the temple.
As you see this group in the distance.
Yeah. Currently Raylon is just wearing regular clothing. He's not in his armor or anything. He carries his sword with him though. That's his new lifeline. But out just the top of his collar, you can see tendrils of a scar of a brand that resembles. It looks like little forks, little branches forking out just at the top of his collar. You can't see the rest. But if you could, you would see a barren cherry tree as a brand that he was branded when he was purged of his darkness and his evil, and his soul was surrendered to Ollis and I think, was it Ataris? Yep. Ataris actually claimed his soul in servitude to reap the blood of, I think, 42 warlocks?
52, yep.
52. And so until 52 warlocks have been slain, or until his blade, once called Victorious, now named Absolution, he is in service. And that's his purpose now, and he surrendered himself to that. Speaking of the sword, it is a work of art, once a handsomely adorned forged blade of golden iron, with human standing over the other races upon the handle. Since his transformation and the fusing of Ataris's being into the blade was transformed. It took on a darker shade of red, and there are tinges of color all throughout the blade. The hilt was melded over, and down along the middle of the blade is the words etched Absolution. And that is Raylon's penance. As I notice and see the three off in the distance, and I guess I hear whispering or just voices echoing through the cavern.
Yes. You catch your name upon the wind. Actually, give me a perception check. Sorry, perception hearing.
Okay. Perception hearing.
Yeah. So if you have 14 hearing, then you can add that. But if not, then it's just perception plus your enlightenment rating and your roll.
Yeah. I rolled 2 1s.
0.
I have a 3. Obviously, I've got a good buzz on that cherry wine. Didn't
Yeah, that's right. So unfortunately, you don't hear anything, but you do manage to you do catch the light of that orb previously, and you do catch them, but you don't hear Jack or at all. Is
Okay.
your action?
I guess
that's your action, yeah.
I guess standing in the open, I just stop and I watch the light. I'll just watch it. I don't move any closer. Maybe I take 2 steps closer. Not really even paying attention to the guys. I'm just staring at the light. Not even drunkenly, just reflectively. Just had a really good chat to my mate Virgil Trackton, and I feel good now that this weird thing has happened to me, and I feel like there's a sense of normality that's come back. I feel like I've reconnected with at least part of the group, and I'm feeling like, okay, maybe there is actually a purpose to my life, and I can actually have a meaningful life. And so I'm just happy. I'm a bit benevolent at the moment, and I'm looking at this light, thinking it's pretty, thinking happy thoughts, smelling of cherry liquor.
Yeah.
And as he sort of wanders over, I sort of mention, I guess no one sleeps now. Well, finally I have someone to talk to at night, I guess. As I'm directing towards Raylan.
You see Adriel Mamanbal kind of look at you and then puzzle. Look, what? And he just noticed it. He appears to have like not noticed Raylan just standing there in the distance. He's like, oh, yeah, you see him go. You see him go a little bit intense. A tense look to his features as well.
Well, seeing the change in there, I would have seen Cola turn head and notice me, body language straighten up or whatever. I know, I start to make my way over.
Okay. This will be
And I
interesting.
wave.
And that was a sign of resignation, like my eyes sort of flicker up. Great little dots there.
Mm-hmm. You see Serson stand there as well. What do you do, Serson?
Is there something wrong with your eyes, mate?
Sorry? Pardon?
There seems to be something wrong with your eyes. You look at one location and then your eyes just slowly look to the other after you hear it.
I don't know what you mean.
Can't sleep, Raylan?
Actually, just a late night. A few hours ago, I was meditating in the cherry orchard, and I communed with Ataris, the spirit within my blade, and I bring my blade off my back, off its scabbard, and lay it out flat across my hands, kind of just looking at it. I'm not offering it forward or anything. I'm just holding it. Said it was
Yeah. You see.
It's helped.
Oh yeah, you see Adriel Mamanbal looking at it intently. Kind of whispers it under his breath. Ashushe. Do you have any grades in insight?
I got 2 grades.
2 grades. Okay. You could with that. Yeah, you can make me an insight roll. While we're moving on. Yeah, make me an insight roll.
I got a 6 and a 1, so suppress the 1. It's a 6
plus your 2
6
plus your presence rating.
Wait, no, it's an enlightenment.
Enlightenment? Oh yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
So plus 4, so that's 10.
10 total. I don't know, he doesn't seem to be in the greatest of moods, but then again, you've never seen him in any other mood, so, no, you can't really read anything from that.
That's alright. And I just say it was, it's helped me make a bit more sense of this strange situation I found myself thrust in. And I say to him, have you been able to make any more sense of, I guess, what's happened to me? And I say, well, do you know what? Did you hear the discussion between the angels? Well, what did you witness?
I saw no angels. I felt a presence. I was with Kaelin Bram. We both felt the presence, but we saw nothing.
And because this was the guy I originally obviously surrendered myself to be examined because I wanted to be purged, whatever. So I say, in a very non-sexual way, I pull open my linids on my top and I show him the brand and I say, I came away with this, and on all 52 branches of my brand, Ataris has commanded me for this blade, Absolution, to taste the blood of 52 warlocks and deliver them to our masters.
You see a gasp, like something akin to a gasp, like he kind of looks up, he kind of stands, he kind of straightens up a little bit, looking at this, a little bit in awe. As Cole, you see this like amazing. You haven't seen this before. This brand, this intricate like tattoo / brand upon his chest, Sersen as well.
You don't have to eat them, do you?
Well, I don't, but the blade is hungry.
Okay,
It is
fair enough.
It's the being that resides within my weapon, and my
You
redemption.
say an angel resides within your blade.
Yes, Ataris. I have communed with him just hours before. I invite you. Place your hand upon it. See what you can sense.
Forgive me, Raylan. I will decline.
I guess such is your right, but I would have thought you were curious, as you did feel this presence. But nonetheless, the offer is always there.
Still, you are marked by a tree, a cherry tree. That much is obvious. Ollis has put his plans upon you. I guess much falls upon you to make sure you do not fail your divine appointment.
And I say, oh well, I absolutely understand this. I mean,
but he regards you a little bit with a little bit of a look around you as you're slightly swaying as you have been drinking this night. So.
Yeah. Well, it's cherry wine. It's the good stuff. You know, fills me up with the courage of Ollis. But I say, well, you know, I came to you willingly. I did not hide, and I've surrendered myself to this process, and everything else that has followed has just been a result of that. The things that have happened have been difficult to explain and difficult to make sense of. So how could they be anything but divine? I understand that there is another clouding darkness around this, but through the divinity, we can overcome it.
You must understand, darkness is itself divine as well. Yes, you are correct. This is the work of divine, but exactly what divine is working, I am unsure.
I see. Well, if you ever have any concerns, you can always bring them to me. You know I am willing.
Of course, that is good. Very good. As I've been mentioning, though, to Kola and Shershin Homage, I shall be leaving tomorrow after the festival that you hold, this day of law. I must return back to the house of Asmodeus in Bale.
I understand. Thank you for your teachings, obviously despite the complications over the last few chains.
Yes.
It's been an honor.
You were quick to learn. It is good.
We've all had great teachers.
He kind of stops for a second and just kind of like nods slowly, as if it's like taken aback a little bit. You can kind of sense that. Yes. Well, I must retire. I believe we still have a day of fullness tomorrow.
Indeed. Oh, and I say, Adriel, I know you're hesitant to examine my blade, but hours ago, And I turn to Kola and Sersen, and I'm not sure if you believe it either. However, the spirit that dwells within warned me that darkness is coming upon this orchard. It said it is approaching, and I believe it will be here soon. I was actually just on my way to warn Caleb. Actually, no, wait, sorry. Out of character. I already did that, I remember. Anyway, yeah, I said I just spoke with Virgil on my way here. And I say, and it was good to speak with him. He is well.
Yes.
But I must warn you, the spirit or being that I've attuned with has warned me of this, so please be vigilant. And if you are traveling, be wary.
Dire news. Still, appreciate it. I give you my
bow.
thanks. He kind of gives you a low nod. Yes.
I turn to Kola and to Sersen, and I say, what of you? Would you believe what has happened to me as a hand of Olis?
Considering
And
what's happened, and considering that something did happen to you, I guess it would be a fool not to at least recognize it.
Well, you're still here, and you got through the fire pit.
Indeed.
One thing, Raylan, with your
Yes.
sword. Actually, no question to James as well. The stone I got, not the one from Agio, but the one previous. No,
Yes, the onyx stone. The onyx stone.
Onyx
Yeah.
stone. No, Onyx stone. That's the one. I was just wondering if I pulled that out and have it near to Raylan's sword, would anything happen?
Try.
Try it? No, I want to try that. No,
It's roleplay, mate.
yeah. I'm just making sure. Yeah.
Mm.
So I pull out the Onyx stone order and say, Raylan,
Oh, what
have
is
your
that?
sword. Oh, it's an Onyx stone. Apparently I was told by Adriel that it has a spirit or something in it. And I'm just wondering, if your sword has a spirit within it, maybe they'll commune. Willing to try?
I take a step back.
I sit down and I place the sword across my lap, and I stretch out my hand and I say, Kola, if you wouldn't mind, pass me the stone.
And I sort of with it and gently like, give the hand to him. Oh, the Onyx stone to him.
Yeah,
With
you get
the,
handed an ore, a clump of ore, a silver ore, and then within it is like this embedded into it is like this oval shaped onyx
like
stone.
a cross section.
Yeah.
So with the sword across my lap, I place my elbows on the top of the sword and hold the stone with both hands. I meditate, just in silence for a second, just to let things get quiet, just to clear my head.
You feel instantly in this moment, you feel a slight presence and a wash of heat kind of emanates slightly from the sword. And you also feel that this stone, this clump of silver and stone, is being like semi-magnetically pulled towards the sword in a slight fashion, just very, very slightly, very slowly, and you kind of feel that, and you kind of feel like an intense. Make me a piety roll.
So what do I do?
Just your piety score plus your 2d8s. It's kind of like tuning to
I've got
spiritual.
5 piety, so 10 total.
10 total. You're able to, like, you kind of sense that in the exact moment that you get the impression that it's as if you get the instant impression in your head, just something in the back of your head, and just from the feeling, just the heat of the sword in this like split-second moment. You get the impression that what you're doing is something similar to dangling a lamb to a lion through a cage.
Oh, he wants it.
Yes.
and
You get that impression
I will-
before you move on.
I
Yep.
will. I'm attempting to commune with Ataris. I say, Ataris. Well, what object am I holding, and how does it play with my purpose? Do I get any?
The heat, the sword radiates heat. The feeling still of this pulling slightly still goes on, but no answer. No answer. So that's are you touching the like how far is like you've got the sword here, like are you touching the stone to the sword or
My elbows rest on
Okay.
top of the sword, and I'm holding the object in my hands.
oh
like,
okay yeah
So I'm like sitting cross-legged,
yeah
just
okay
and I'm feeling that magnetism.
yeah even
I
in your
look up to
inebriated
Cola.
state yeah
Yeah, I look up to Cola and I say, "It's pulling it."
Pulling. Like what
sword.
pulling?
The sword wants the stone.
Oh. And as you mentioned that, I go to just take the stone away from the sword. Like, well, unfortunately, this is mine, and I put it back in my pocket. And I think we'll just still keep it like that. But thank you for the try, Raylan. Thank you.
I just bow. Does my sword have blue balls?
Crazy fucking claiming.
you feel a
You make
wash
a call?
you feel as Raylan during that moment when the stone gets pulled away, you feel a wash of cold flow over you.
Ooh.
I
Ooh.
want you
What's
to
the
register.
DMs?
Take a point of vigor damage.
Okay.
Minus 1 vigor.
So okay, that's got me down to an 8 vigor, and that's a modifier now of 0.
Yeah,
Is that-
yeah. So this is vigor damage. So you recover this at a rate of 1 per day, but
Okay.
with rest. But yeah, this is
And I'm
you
visibly
feel-
shivering.
Yes.
And I clutch the sword, and I start to like tilt off a bit, and almost like I break from my cross-legged, and I put one hand on the ground, one hand on the sword, bring the sword to my chest, kick my right leg out to steady myself, my left hand out the side.
You feel a
I look to
spark
you,
of pain in your
panting.
head. Just like a spark. Ugh. I got like in this moment.
I look at Raylan and go, Raylan, you alright?
And I look up and I say, the sword really wanted the stone.
And I sort of nervously look over. Surprisingly enough for Cole, because you can't usually tell from his facial expressions, but this one you can. Nervously, was it towards Zerson? Going, what? sort of expression.
And I slowly bring myself to standing up and I say, you don't understand. In exchange for my soul, I've pledged myself to the will of Ataris, the Elysian angel. I have no other purpose. My life is in his hands. I am not the wielder of this blade, but the blade is wielding me. And I say to Kolo, I say, without this sword, I would perish. And I say, once you have asked your questions and discovered what that stone may be, I do not want to ask too much, but if you are able to find out more, I would like you to consider giving it to the sword.
And as he sort of mentions that, I look directly at him and say, I guess we'll find out, won't we? If this...
And I nod and I bow.
For a moment, I actually thought that you had a shitty smith build that sword for you.
I offer it out and I say, you're welcome to inspect it. You'll find it
yeah.
is quite interesting
Yes.
to hold.
Do I have to make blacksmithing roll for this?
To inspect the quality of this blade.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. What's your blacksmith?
Let's check. 3.
3.
Plus 1.
Yeah. No, just from that. Yeah, this is iron. It's not steel. But it is probably some of the best quality iron you've seen, just in terms of how it's put together. It's got like bits of gold in its construction as well, and it's finely engraved. Such a beautiful item. Like really, this is something that most Vygish would even be happy with wielding. It's not steel, obviously, but iron is still not the worst thing in the world. But just the tempered blade as well, how it shines and gleams. It is strange. It's very, very strange. But definitely a wonder. Definitely a wonder. Definitely very, very awe-inspiring.
Yeah, so I grab the blade and I have a look at it, check the edge straightness and see.
So do you actually
check the sharpness?
Raylan, do you actually like let go of the blade off your person and give it to Sersen?
I hold it in my hands and hold it up to him while he inspects it.
Yeah.
I do not.
Yeah.
I
don't let go.
I feel him
Okay.
instinctively try and pull it, and I grip it. And I just, I'm offering it this is.
Yeah. So check along the length of the blade for particular fatigue marks and such. Then I get the back end of my claw and I tap it once, but sharply, and I hear a slight ring, but a dullness to the ring, and a something else just in there. I just can't quite figure out. It was like, okay. Assumed it was steel in the beginning with a sort of. There's a word for a brazing of gold, but no, this is actually iron, surprisingly.
Yeah, it also, just as you look inspecting the blade as well, there is something, an undercurrent of uncomfortableness about it, an uncomfortable aura. You are not a wimp, you're a Vygish soldier of House Sersen, not many things phase you, but this, for a second, it gives you a little bit of pause. It's just something about this blade. It feels not unnatural, but it's definitely not comfortable being so close to it.
Yeah. I would not feel comfortable wielding this blade at all.
And I say I doubt anyone else would be.
Indeed. And
I say because it is alive.
Yes. I don't think I've ever stabbed something with something else that's alive.
I bet Visal has.
Fists don't count.
And I say, speaking of which, he's probably the only one asleep right now.
By what it seems.
And the wave of tiredness as well, and well, the camera pans back as the rest of the catalysts begin to get ready to fall asleep. As Visal, you are sleeping next to your great bed, with that cestus you crafted the day before next to your bed. This fine weapon. In fact, no, you have it on you. You have it on you. You're sleeping with it. Make me a quick blacksmith roll. Let's see how well you crafted the cestus. Visal, the ogre wrestler.
I believe it's just the roll plus my blacksmith rating. Yeah.
Yep, blacksmith plus intelligence. Stat.
Oh, plus intelligence.
Yep, plus intelligence.
Intelligence stat.
Oh, sorry, rating.
So
rating.
much. It's 1. So I've got +1 for intelligence and +1 for blacksmith on a 9, which makes 11.
11. Okay, so you do a pretty bad job, but you do manage to get something together. It's holding together just barely. It's more like metal wrapped around with just some wolf's teeth, kind of like embedded into it, and some of them are just falling off, but there's still like metal in your hands. You're still happy about it.
In my dream, I go back and have the memory of making this cestus, and once it's complete, holding it up and saying, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever created. Look at its feathers. Can't wait to use this. It is so beautiful. And I put it on my head. It fits like a glove. Hold it to my heart, and then I say to my Trithorn and Trithorn, bring Isabel. Let's go have a nap. And I canoodle Isabel with my cestus on my hand and go to sleep. And that's me dreaming. That's currently.
Glad to know they're both alive.
Trithorn's a little bit.
I don't understand that.
As the scene ends, as with that dream of V-Cells creating this great cestus, as the camera pans out of this great Elysian caverns upon this day so early at 3 a.m. in the morning, as the camera pans out, looking up into those twin moon eyes. Virgil Trackton, would you like to give us a journal update right now? Yeah, right. Alright.
Day 20, Day of the Spider, cycle 4923. I awoke today in a cold sweat. Derek's death haunts me still. Men will be men, riots will happen, and men like Mercadius will always come and go. But men know this, and children do not. What god saw it fit to let my son die to a derelict Ferrum? It is that day that I learned justice is not bestowed upon us, upon the righteous, good, or the innocent. It is bestowed upon those who seek it, and those who are prepared to bestow justice on others. I'm lucky that I've been welcomed by Ollis. Derek's death, I have to trust myself, is not my fault. But avenging him is my job. I hope if I can bring about Ollis's plans for absolution, perhaps one day we could see a land of peace. One that my son could have lived in. That's the end of it.
Nice.
Wow. That was
Zippers.
awesome. Thank you.
That's awesome.
That was really cool. Thank you.
I'm glad I put a
Alright.
pickaxe in it.
There
Make
you
you sad and
go.
stuff.
Thank you everybody for playing this 7th episode of Within the Ring of Fire Burning Dusk. Get your books on DrivethruRPG, they're awesome if you haven't read it already. Good stuff. Thank you.
Yeah.
Next time,
Me.
episode 8.
And-